Good morning guys, welcome to Operation Crypto. Quick Sunday market update to see what's going on, and to be honest, not much. I mean, we're still within this range now. If you'll drop down to your hourly time frame, you can see that the Bitcoin price is pure range, and we're using the lower level down here, which is pretty much slap on 28,600, and every time we get down there we do get a decent reaction. I'm actually surprised we got a few closures down here, because every time we've dropped below this level of support, the price has pushed straight back up. And on my hourly time frame, look at that, even that massive wick we had the other day when everything got absolutely obliterated, we still bounced back up and we closed within that range. I mean, if you'll drop to the 4 hour, let's have a quick look there. Yeah, we had a closure below that as well, but it soon popped straight back up. So all in all, still not much going on across the markets. A couple of things I want to take a look at though. So we'll take a look first at the Nasdaq. Look out for a close on the Nasdaq. I mean, 3.2% up on Friday, which was insane. And if we just have a look at it daily, actually, you can see, look at those two really bullish engulfing candles, which took out all that trading area. So potentially there's a little bit of relief on board, and we've come to this area around here. As you can see, it's a clear area of support back around then. We had a few closures below it, but that's a level we need to break through. I think if we did get back above there, we're going to start to target this range up here at around 13,500 points. And if we get up there, things might start looking a little bit better. We've had quite a significant sell-off, so at some stage you would have expected a bit of relief, and that's exactly what it's doing. We've tied in with that the S&P 500 as another great recovery, and that again has come into a level of resistance now, very similar to a Nasdaq. Needs to really get some closures above this region up here, and if it does, we might start to see a little, like say, a little bit of relief, and that would come across into crypto, hopefully. I mean, we have been lagging massively. We've had such a significant rise off the stocks and equities, and we've just not quite had that yet with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. One key factor is following the dollar. I put this chart on the other day and said, look, what needs to happen is we need to push up. I think I put it on around here. So look, we need to push up to this level of resistance and reject. And so far that's playing out. If this continues to drop, there's a couple of levels we need to monitor, which is this one here at about 101. And then this major support level down here at 99. I think if the price did start to carry on down to this region, it would be good for equities and it would be good for Bitcoin. Looking at Bitcoin, I mean, look at altcoins as well, by the way. Whenever you look at Bitcoin, which is going sideways, it's absolutely obliterating the price of alts, which is not the best. But for me, I think it still could get a little bit worse. Maybe not in the dollar pairs, but Bitcoin dominance is something we need to keep his eye on. This, I mentioned it a while ago, that I said, look, we really need to start seeing some growth on Bitcoin dominance, because that would then show strength. It would show strength in investors' decisions. It would show strength in Bitcoin. You need a strong Bitcoin ultimately for the next major run. If you look in the past, we've had a strong Bitcoin every time we've gone on a run. So back here, back in 2017, we had a strong Bitcoin before the price of Bitcoin dominance started to drop. When that dropped, altcoins really rallied hard. So this is, for me, the beginning of the next cycle. I think we need to see Bitcoin dominance rise. I don't think we'll see levels like up here at 72% again. And that's just mainly due to bigger layer ones. Back in 17 and even back prior to this bull run, I know Solana and Avalanche were around, but there wasn't as strong. And now we've got Polkadot, we've got Solana, we've got Near Protocol, we've got some solid layer one projects that I think now will start to share a lot more of the market dominance, and that's when I think Bitcoin will not be as strong. Obviously it's going to be strong, but for me, I think a push up to 52% is something that we can definitely look at seeing, and also potentially a push up to around 58%. I don't think it'll go any higher than that. Like I say, Polkadot, although it's had a significant pullback, is one of the strongest layer zero projects out there. It's the ecosystem it's building, I think, is going to be massive, and that for me will hold a great share of the market. I mean, it's less than 1% of the current market, down at 0.79. I think at some stage in the future this will have at least a 5 to 7% market share, maybe even stronger. So hopefully that's something that we can monitor together. Monitor the Bitcoin dominance. When that starts to rise, it will make the altcoins bleed in Satoshi pairs, but overall for the cycle, it will be a good thing to see. A couple of things to know. So let's have a look at the crypto fear and greed index. Let's have a bit of a refresh on that. It's down at 14. I'm actually surprised it's around there. I'm expecting it to be lower due to the sentiment on crypto Twitter, which is bleak. Everybody's arguing, everybody's fighting, but it is what it is. Keep your head and your ears to the ground. Stay humble, and you don't have to get involved with any of that. But back to Bitcoin. For any type of bullish practice action, we need to get back above here. We really need to see the price above 30,500. Once the price did get above there, I mean, even on the hourly, if we start getting a few closures, it will be good. But if you look at it on the daily, it looks pretty bleak, doesn't it, at the minute? I think for any bullish price action, you need to get back above this wick here, around 32, 33k. If the price did get around there, I mean, it's not even a clear level of support, but it's that last wick there, isn't it? I think you could call that a little bit of a liquidity area. You've got a rejection there and a support level. So for anything bullish, we need to get back above this higher range here at 30,500. If we did push back up above there, then you're really looking to target that 32, 33k region. But it is, I mean, it's horrific at the minute, isn't it? Look at the RSI there, by the way. RSI hit 16 on the daily time frame, which is crazy. I mean, when have we seen that before? 15 back on March the 20th, and that was when we had that COVID-19 dump. As you can see here, that's when the price really died off. Looking at the weekly time frame as well, RSI is at the lowest point it's been since that COVID crash as well. So that's something to monitor. And also, if we look at a different chart, maybe down this bottom. I've not got it on here, but there's another chart where I've mentioned about the Bitcoin price. I think it's this one here. Yeah, it is. So the last time we saw dominance RSI this low was back on that dump, but we've actually been lower. If you look at the previous cycle from 2017, from the all-time high to the cycle lows was exactly at 1 year, and the RSI dropped down to 28 on the weekly time frame. This is a bit of a setup that I think could potentially happen. If you look at the all-time highs on this move and go exactly 1 year, the low on the RSI would be in November this year. Like I've mentioned with the stocks, equities, US markets, I'm expecting a relief bounce. So this is a bit of a setup I've got. I think we will recover now. Maybe up to that 33k level, which I've talked about. And I think we'll sell off. Whether we go down to this 25k region, I don't know. We could just bounce around this region and go sideways and eventually drop and then push back up. I think that's something that we need to keep his eyes on, because historically it's something that's happened. And once that happened, we started the next cycle. Obviously had major drops on the way up, but that was when the market really started to grow. And I think the same could be a scenario here. History is there to tell us what's happened in the past, and that could be something that potentially maybe on the horizon. So look for relief, and then look for a potential drawdown, bringing that RSI back down to these levels, and then hopefully push onto a new cycle. But that's my thoughts today. Hopefully the dollar starts to drop, equities start to push up. In tandem, that will bring Bitcoin up and we do get a bit of relief. Remember, this time, if we do get relief and you've seen significant gains, start scaling out some profit.